my chicken, it's as if my chicken has a beret.
Oh, le poulet has a beret.
Avec la beret.
Take deux.
Wow, it's going a little crazy. I have no control. No control, I tell you.
Hi.
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 Or
Et
should we
voilà,
say
she's here.
bonjour, bonsoir.
Bonjour. I don't speak French, but I have a good French accent in English.
French accent.
Oh, God. Oh, she dressed for the occasion. I'm a little Austrian tonight.
What am I? I'm like sleepy cow
You're
neck.
Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy hollow.
Well, we're making crepes. I had to, you know, my son Jack gave this to me for Christmas. It's nice because, you know, all the hairdressers are closed here, and I realized my hair needs to be colored.
Here's my hairdresser.
Yeah, I know. Well, my hair's in a ponytail all the time, so. But I might get hot cooking in this, so I may actually take it off.
Is it wool?
It is.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's so pretty. That was a great present.
Très jolie.
What? Okay, no, my hair's done.
What?
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 Take it away.
Yeah. Well, the chicken doesn't have a mask on because the chicken goes nowhere.
And
Much
it is
like us. Wee-wee.
it's rubber too, so it doesn't, you know, need one.
So I'm excited for crepes. Yum.
Ooh, yummy.
Well,
Thank
we have one person to thank tonight for this inspiration, and that is it's my lovely and wonderful brother-in-law, Stephen, who we affectionately call Sister Stephen, because he's part of our sisterhood, because, you know, there are 3 girls from our side of the family. We also have 2 half-sisters and a stepsister. So there are 6 girls in my family. So
Yep.
it's very difficult for boys when, you know, you get married to come into our group here. So
The coven.
yes. There's a whole ritual thing. It's a big, you know, black bowl. Anyway, we won't get into details, but so Stephen, who we call Sister Stephen, gave me this for Christmas. So anyway, thank you, Stephen.
Is this your christening moment?
I have made 2 crepes about 30 seconds ago on this pan, and I have to say it worked really well, which is good, because if it didn't, we would be in trouble. We'd be
Having the filling. Sans the crepe.
With a spoon. Yeah. Actually, the filling's so good, you probably would. You could eat it with a spoon, but we're going to put it on some crepes.
Okay.
So this is some good comfort food. Also, this is sort of Frenchy comfort food. I felt like I would wanted to be anywhere but here this week. And France seemed like a good place to go to. So
okay,
let's go to France. All right.
Hey, friend, in our minds.
Vive la France. Okay. So, it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's complicated. It's just a lot. So this is the type of meal that, you know, you want to make when you've got time. It's a great party dish too, because it looks impressive. You know, level of difficulty, I'd say it's sort of medium.
Party dish?
But meaty. I know we'll party with your family. That's sick of seeing you. Maybe this will make them happy. But it is, the level of difficulty is a little higher than some of the other things I've made. So just so you know, but you just have to give yourself some time and be forgiving. And that's pretty much all you need to know. The crepe batter, because it is a batter. I mean, a crepe is essentially a very thin pancake. The ingredients are eggs, milk. Actually, we put water in this one. Oh, there are the dogs. Anyone can get the dogs? That would be great. Dogs on the set.
Monitor, where are you? Where's the baby?
Hi, anyone? Dogs? Okay. Flour and some melted butter. And so that's all that goes into it. Of course, it wouldn't be Hollie's homegrown recipe if we didn't add some herbs. So I like to take some fresh herbs and I chop them and actually put them in the batter. So when you make the crepe, there's these, which I just so happen to have one made here. You get these really pretty little.
Look at that.
Oh,
Oui,
beautiful. Oh, that looks textbook, Holly.
oui, belle.
Welcome, Stephen. Thank you, Stephen.
Oh,
So, so if you put, so it's kind of fun to put the herbs in the batter because then you get the little pretty flecks. This dish can also go sweet. In Croatia, like Lisa has done a couple months ago or a couple decades ago. I don't know how long
How
you've been.
long ago?
we don't know. There's no time. It's all elastic.
Palatine, which is basically a crepe you fill with jam or Nutella and things like that. I mean, a lot of cultures do these types of very thin, cooked on high heat, really fast type of dishes. So, but this is a traditionally French recipe, and the mushroom and spinach combination is also very French. A lot of times the herb that goes with this is tarragon. My family aren't big tarragon fans, so we're not going to go tarragon. We're going to go parsley and chives, but you certainly could go tarragon, which would be full-on traditional Frenchy, or you could even go a little dill, I would say. This is kind of a spring herb type of meal with the spinach and the mushrooms. Tastes really good, and thyme actually would be good with the mushrooms. So
Well, Mike's having expectations. I can hear the song already.
Crepe expectations.
Mm-hmm.
great expectations. So I've already made the batter, which I will go get. Well, actually, we're not going to get in the fridge yet because we're going to do that last. You have, after you make the batter, which I'm not going to do with us today because you literally take all those ingredients I just said, egg, flour, pinch of salt, melted butter, milk, and you put it in the Cuisinart all together, just throw it all in, and you hit go, and it's 10 to 20 seconds until it's all smooth, and that's it. And also your fresh herbs if you want to put the fresh herbs in it. And that's all you have to do. So since this is a longer meal, I thought I don't need to show, you guys don't need to watch me putting that in and pushing it for 10 seconds. But the most important thing is once the batter's done, pour it in a container or bowl, put it in the refrigerator because it really needs, and this is sort of true for all batters, needs to rest a little because all the flour needs to absorb liquid and the glutens. And you'll notice it's a little thicker than when you put it in. So
yeah, all that gluten develops.
Yeah, so it's really important you let it rest. So I went ahead and made it beforehand about 45 minutes ago. So it's been in the fridge plenty of time. So we'll bring it out when we do the crepes. But normally you would do the batter first and then cook the filling because that's going to take some time. And that'll give you plenty of time to do it when you get ready. So let's do the filling first. So the filling, so again, this is French cuisine. So we're not shy about the butter. So don't be alarmed about the butter.
We love butter.
We never are on Corona Kitchen. We're full blown.
That carries the flavor. We like it.
Yeah. There's 5. You start with 5 tablespoons of butter and a shallot. So that's good. But there you go.
So you melted it?
It's melting right now. I'm going to get a, hold on, let me get my whisk. Oh, here it is. So you're going to want a whisk for this because we're going to
get out
like a bechamel sauce, which is a white cream sauce. Milk, literally milk and cream. We're going to cook a little flour. So this is a basic bechamel that actually you can use for all kinds of things. There's a wonderful, it's kind of like, I call it like a white lasagna recipe. So instead of red sauce, you use a bechamel. And it's kind of the same.
Well, that's very moussaka, Greek.
Yes, it's delicious. That's another Deborah Madsen.
Brianna, can you move Hollie's name so we can see her cooking it?
I can take it off. Everybody now knows who she is.
I mean, yeah. I just want to be able to see everybody to see what you're doing.
Do you want me to push it down a little?
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Oh, perfect.
Punch. Hi.
You do a way.
She's the hunchback of Notre Dame.
So we've got the shallots and the 5 tablespoons of butter, and they're going to cook down. You just want to let them, this is literally just to kind of warm them through, get them a little translucent, and your heat's on about medium.
So just the butter's in there?
This is just butter and shallots, and it's about, it's one very large shallot, which was about 2 tablespoons of chopped shallots, okay? So once that's done, we're going to add the mushrooms because you want these to take some time. So I chose, again, there's so many great mushrooms out there. These are baby portobellos.
Mm-hmm.
So I like these because they're they have some weight to them. I really feel like and munching in here. So I sliced some of them up, and you can also buy them sliced. So, but this is going to be 2
Are
pounds.
you using your new knife?
Well, yes, I am.
Oh.
So let's put these in, and you can buy. I've actually bought 2 of these sliced, and then I bought one whole just to show you. But
So how much? How many pounds?
these are 2 16-ounce, so it's about 2 pounds. I'm going to go a little bit over because I love mushrooms, so I really want him to have a lot of mushroom in there.
And mushrooms shrink when you cook them. So,
They do.
you know, it looks like a lot there, but that's going to really cook down.
And the same with the spinach. It's going to feel and sound like a lot, but it's really not. Well, it is, but it will shrink down.
And you're cooking for 4.
Yeah, but you know, my 4 is like
Well, her 4 is like 8.
Her 4 is like 8. Okay.
8. I just double everything because that's what I have to do. Okay. Because they'll be, like I said, they'll be eating cereal an hour after dinner. Okay. So, yeah, let's get these cooked down. Okay. So these are going to take a minute. And now it's, you know, it's on pretty high heat, medium high heat. And you can, again, I like to use tongs. They're easy to pull them up, and that way you don't get as many mushrooms flying. Now
And so was that salted butter?
It was not. It was unsalted butter, which is very important because with a dish like this, with this much cheese, you really want to control the salt.
Mm-hmm.
Use salted butter. So I'm going to be using, surprise, Hollie's homegrown salt. We're going to do Rancho Moraga. We're going to do about 2 pinches, about a teaspoon. So we're going to put it now with the mushrooms because that's going to help cook the mushrooms down too. And fresh ground pepper, which is all the way over here. I forgot to get it.
Just in case you guys need to know.
Just in case you need to know where all my things are in my kitchen. Okay. So we're going to just keep kind of gently tossing these.
I don't think there's anything better than mushrooms and butter.
Seriously?
Well, I was thinking about it because I want to make a salmon Wellington, and in this, my friend was asking me, well, what are you going to use instead of Duxelle? I'm like, nothing. Why wouldn't I use Duxelle?
Right.
Which is finely chopped mushrooms that are cooked for a long time until they really concentrate, and it's so good.
Yum.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with any
No.
of it. That's
No.
Take it all.
No, there isn't. So basically you have butter, shallots and mushrooms in there with some salt.
A little bit of salt, right? It has a tiny bit of herbs in it. But it is important to put the salt in with your mushrooms. It does help let them sweat a little faster, breaks them down a little, because you want them to cook. This is a lot of mushrooms in a pan. So it does take a bit of time. But as you can see, they're already cooking down. They smell, it's like such a good smell.
It's heaven.
Time where I feel like I should be adding white wine, or red wine. And you could with this recipe, actually. I thought
You could add sherry too, I think.
I usually add sherry and garlic.
Or you could do a little marsala would be nice. If you have marsala. I don't have any white wine open. I only have red, and I didn't think red.
Yeah, that's a little too heavy.
Not red.
It didn't work. So we're just gonna add more butter. That's all we're gonna do.
Butter, wine. I always substitute. Whatever.
That's perfectly normal. Okay, so you notice we're getting some really good, juices down here at the bottom. That's all the mushroom letting off the, starting to shrink and letting off their juices. Oh my God, these are so good. This is like, I'm just eating this. Okay, that's all, folks. Bye-bye.
I'm good.
Yeah. All right, let me get a quick bowl to put these in. Watch out.
So you're just basically sweating them, and then you're going to stop?
We're going to sweat it and forget it. I just said that. That's awful. Okay, so we're going to... I'm not going to put the spinach in until the very last because it wilts to nothing in 2 seconds. But these, you want them to really cook through. And remember, once these get rolled up in the crepes in the sauce, they're going to cook for another 30 minutes in the oven. So these don't have to be like completely dead cooked down to nothingness. Okay, so that's good right there. So I don't know, how long have we been cooking? Like these 5 minutes, 6 minutes?
Maybe. Yeah.
Threaten them, don't kill them.
Threaten, don't kill. Okay, so we're going to just put these aside in a bowl. Because we have to make the bechamel, it just takes up too much room in the pan to whisk it. So we're going to put this aside. Okay? We don't need to clean the bowl out. We're fine. And guess what? We get to add
Because there's butter in there.
yeah, more butter. Oh my God, I used that whole thing. Okay, so we're going to use this one. So now we get to add 2 tablespoons of butter.
More butter.
More butter is mo better.
Yes.
Okay, so 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to do the roux, which is, I'm sure many of you have heard that before. Roux is the beginning of the thickening of the sauce. So we add butter and flour, and then we whisk it.
Are you taking off your shoes? What are you doing?
I'm so tall with the thing. Bend right now. I'm doing my squats. Okay, so let's get the butter melted.
Okay.
Again, 2 tablespoons of butter. Don't worry about the calories.
No, do not think. No thinking about the calories. No.
As I've said in my household, after the inauguration, then I'll think about it.
This is 5.
Till then, we need it.
I'm just eating what I want to eat right now.
I want it, damn it. Too bad. Okay, so we're gonna add. This is 5 tablespoons of butter. I mean, excuse me, flour.
Okay.
More butter.
Flour, just whatever.
More butter with the butter. Okay, so this is 5 tablespoons.
Surprised Peggy isn't calling this out right now.
I know.
So what you do is the flour is going to get absorbed, or is going to absorb the butter, and you just mix it around, and it's going to make kind of a paste. And it's sort of messy and weird looking, but don't worry, this is right. So you just keep mixing it around with your whisk, makes this paste, and you want it to kind of cook a little bit because you don't want it to taste floury like you just took a thing of flour. So we're going to turn the heat down to low.
Mm-hmm.
This is the start of a bechamel. Okay. So from here,
We do this differently. I do this differently.
okay, hold on.
Okay.
It's all good.
If it turns
In
out
fact, it's delicious. Lots of butter.
you can't really make a mistake here.
Yeah.
Well, you can add some more butter. Okay. We're gonna add, we are going to add, hold that thought,
Okay.
2 cups. I thought it was 1. We're going to do 2 cups of milk. And we're going to do it low because this milk is cold. Really, it should be room temperature, but that's okay. Okay, remember your heat's on low.
Mm-hmm.
Just going to slowly add this to your pan and just keep mixing.
Yep. There's lots of butter. This.
Yeah.
How can you go wrong?
You can't really.
So the doctor says you can't anymore. Okay, so this is going to start to get really pasty, which is exactly what you want. Just keep whisking it. Okay.
Yep. It's thick. I can see it's thick.
Yeah, we're going to do another cup. So it's 2 cups of milk. And again, remember, it's nice and slow. And the best stuff's on the sides here, so don't forget to get the stuff off the side. If you start to see it getting too brown, your heat's too high. So we're going to keep going.
Okay. So you haven't added anything else, and no salt, no herbs, nothing yet.
No,
Okay.
we're just going to do this now.
Flour, butter, and milk.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is nice white sauce.
What's better than that?
Yeah. So as you can see, you just got to keep, this is just this, there isn't a faster way to do this. It's just keep whisking. And eventually you're going to, you don't want to, so eventually.
So what are you looking for?
You want it to be nice and smooth. Like you want to get the lumps all broken up.
Okay.
Okay. So you just keep doing that. Also, because we just have to do this, we're going to add a cup of
More
cream.
butter?
Cup of cream
Some cream.
to the butter. Okay.
Add cream to the butter and the milk. Yes.
Dairy products.
This is my pro Wisconsin show. So you don't have, this does not have to be heavy cream. This can be just another cup of milk. But at this point, I mean,
use the cream.
You're going to skip now on the calories?
Okay.
It's Insurrection Week. Use the cream.
Insurrection Week on Corona Kitchen. I think this is Peggy. She says, you all get a pass tonight being from a foreign country and all. Besides, Holly seems a bit out of sorts with all her new Christmas items she's learning to use on live TV.
Up there.
She's so brave.
All right.
She's doing pretty well.
Courage.
It's hard to do this. You just have to be able to concentrate. It's hard to talk. But that's what I get paid to do. Oh, wait a minute. I don't. Okay. It's a free show, people. Okay.
Okay. So you're making that, and then what are you going to do with it? You're going to add the cheese to that?
We are, and then we're going to add the spinach, and then we're going to add the mushrooms, and it's going to make this creamy, spinachy mushroom deliciousness.
Comfort filling.
And then we're going to scoop that into the crepes and then roll them. Okay. So it stays on low and just let it keep cooking. And you're going to. So what makes a bechamel is a surprise. The surprise ingredient is nutmeg. I know it sounds weird because you think of pumpkin pie. It's not.
Nope.
So these are actual little nutmeg pods, seeds, and this is a nutmeg grinder.
Oh, you have the old-fashioned grater. I love that. I have one too.
All here in Moraga. So you just take, this is less than it's like 1/8 of a teaspoon, just enough. Too much of this is no good. It's like truffle oil, just a tiny bit. So we're just
really makes a difference. It's a wonderful complexity.
Especially with the mushroom. It's great. Okay, so we're just gonna do a tiny bit of that. And I'll put that away.
Well, a white sauce always like cheese and cream and butter with nutmeg. There's just nothing better.
And this you add a little salt and pepper, but we're gonna substitute with a little Hollie salt. So this is when you can add the salt.
What do you have? What salt is it?
This is the Rancho Moraga. So this is the dill.
Okay.
It's still parsley and chive. So it's, and I'm using parsley and chive in the other one. So I thought this would be, and the dill is not going to be overwhelming in this. So it'll be okay.
Okay.
All right. We have a comment from one of the viewers. So basically this is one large dairy product with some veggie stuffed in the side.
Correct.
It's French. That's what French food is. Hello.
That's right.
Yeah.
French food in a nutshell. Okay. So, all right. So we're going to just let this cook through. As you can see, it's still a little liquidy. So we want to bring it just to a bubble, not a boil, just so the outside's bubbling a little bit because that's going to
starts to thicken because of the flour. It starts to get thick.
Did you hear that, people?
Like my hand. Starts to get a little thick.
Well, if it's not thickening, turn up your heat, but not too hot because you don't want to scorch the dairy, the milk, and the cream.
Okay, that's looking good.
It's not going to suck. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is going to be good.
Well,
okay.
See, all that stirring, it's your exercise.
This arm has burned 150,000 calories. Okay.
It's really nice to have something positive and wonderful to experience right now in our world. And I'm grateful for this crepe.
Butter and cream. That's positive.
Yeah. Butter and cream.
All right. So we're heating up a little bit. So when you see, I don't know if you guys can see this closely, but the sides start to bubble up a little bit first, just right along the edge, right along the rim here.
Uh-huh.
That's a good sign. That means we're just I don't know if you can tell how much it's already thickened up.
Yes, no talking. Holly has to concentrate.
Last minute. No. Shush. Okay.
Jeez.
All right. Now
yes, well, if we could have a musical interlude.
Yeah, sing. Come on. You guys are the talented ones here. Okay, so next we're going to add the spinach.
Sing.
Oh, it's fresh spinach. How nice.
Fresh spinach. I mean, you don't have to, but it really makes a huge difference, I think.
Yeah.
And we are going to do, I wrote this down so you all would know.
Oh, the measurement.
Spinach.
I've been counting. That's your third handful.
But
4.
that's ounces, 10 ounces.
4
10
handfuls. 5. Okay.
10 ounces? How much is it, that big bucket?
There's weight on here. So this is like 20 ounces. So it's about half.
Okay, so about half. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do this. I may have to do this in
4 or 5 handfuls. I was counting.
you wait to see how fast this cooks down. So now see how thick we're getting here? So
Yeah.
nice and
Gorgeous.
And remember, the mushrooms oh my God, look at this. This is exactly, it's working. It's working.
Someone says, really? Does Holly think we can see the bubbles from California?
Come on.
Uh, no, handfuls are not.
All right. Let that sit for a second. And we're going to add our fresh herbs now too. So we've got some parsley. We've got some chives. So we're going to do about a tablespoon chopped each.
And there is leeway. Like if you're a real spinach lover, you could add a little more spinach and less mushrooms. But once you make it, you can see, how much sauce is in there and what you're taking up, the volume you're taking up with.
Remember,
you can add shredded chicken to that if you had a rotisserie chicken left over.
Yes, this actually part of this recipe is inspired by the New York Times chicken and spinach. But I like it. I really love the flavor of mushrooms. I think it gives it a real complexity because mushrooms have a nice woody flavor to them. Spinach, chicken is just going to absorb whatever flavors you put in here. But I think
do not insult the chicken.
Sorry. I eat chicken all the time. Okay. Now we're going to add the mushrooms back in and see how they have quite a bit of liquid in them.
Yeah. Are you going to add the liquid back in too? Okay.
I'm going to add it all. It all has flavor. It all has really good flavor. So now this thing is completely to the top. Oh my God.
Someone saying, so Holly, your family is going to eat that whole pan full?
No, these are going to go into crepes and they're going to eat an entire plate full of crepes with this in.
She's going to add the flour part to it.
Oh, look who's here.
Oh, is it Edgar?
Edgar.
Oh, Edgar loves crepes.
You, Edgar.
I heard she was making crepes and I wanted in on this.
Okay, so now turn off the heat, okay? And we're going to add, the best part is the cheese. Yay.
Fromage.
So this is a which is a French cheese. I had to say it like that. It's usually it's in fondue. It has a nice melting. It's very similar to Swiss cheese. So if you can't
find it, Gruyere.
So you can use this if you can't find it. I also put in some Havarti in here. Havarti's a little more creamy because we needed more cream.
Edgar, more cream.
I want. No, it sounds so ridiculous when I say that.
The chicken says, "Go use the cows, please."
It didn't sound wrong till I said it out loud. It is creamy and it's really good. Okay, so we're
very melty.
It is very melty, which
That's so good.
It's mostly Gruyere. It's a cup and a half of Gruyere and a half a cup of Havarti. Okay, so the heat's off, and we just basically want to.
You're just gonna melt that in there. Yeah.
Oh. Remember, this is all going to go in a pan and go in the oven for half an hour. So this does not. You don't want to overcook this. So we're just going to let this.
Oh, that looks so good.
God, that looks good. Oh.
I'll be right back. Okay.
We've had cheesy shows. Lisa and her grilled cheese last night.
Well, what was that?
Comfort. It just is.
You can't not eat it. Last night I couldn't not eat the grilled cheese.
A little bit more of my salt. Okay. And a little bit more pepper.
She's tortured us with that grilled cheese. Delicious.
So good. I think I'm going to make it again, actually.
All right. We're going to do a little more salt and pepper because I like to hit it now because otherwise sometimes it's too late. Okay. So we're going to set this aside.
Okay.
This molten cheese.
Molten.
And now we're gonna make the crepes. Let me go get the batter.
Yes, we like helping the dairy farmers.
Don't you wish we could beam ourselves over there, Debriana?
Mm.
It's so funny. I have a group of friends in just here in town that will always text me afterwards and be like, "Is there any left? Is there any left over?" They want me to do a live show, and I said, "Well, I guess
Yes, Corona Kitchen leftovers.
yes, it's not so much fun." But, okay, so here's the batter. Okay.
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 Batter. It's gonna feel like it's a little more runny than it should be, but that's what it's supposed to be. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this is milk, eggs, water, and I did chop some fresh herbs in here because I wanted it to look pretty, and I wanted also a little herb flavor in the pancake. Great, pardon me. Okay, so you can substitute. Another French way to do this: substitute the flour for buckwheat flour.
Oh,
brown.
Yeah, that's the authentic galette. You know, like the Normandy deal.
Mm-hmm.
I actually prefer the savory crepe with the buckwheat, but I didn't have any and I couldn't find it. So it's Corona Kitchen. So we improvise. So we're going to use what we got. Okay. So you want to wait for your pan. This is a special little, again, fancy crepe pan, Sister Stephen. This one is nonstick.
That is so helpful when you're doing very thin pancakes, like a crepe.
You can't. Otherwise, you end up using so much oil. You end up frying it. And it's just, it's too heavy and it kind of ruins it. So, so you need a spatula. Okay. So you take it. I like to do this with a ladle, or you can use a like a little measuring
cup. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's about this is probably 1/4 cup. So you take it in the middle, and then you lift your pan up, and you're going to tilt it around gently. Oh, look at that! She did it.
How fast she did that!
Hi, she did it.
Perfect 10. The judges give you a perfect 10.
See?
Oh my God, that pan is gorgeous.
And some people didn't have faith in me. Okay, I remember. I remember who you are. Okay. So, but the whole thing about rolling it around is to make sure it gets to all the edges, and you don't want it to be thick. This really should be thin, like a crepe. Right.
Oh,
so the other. Funny how that all worked. What's nice is that these do cook really fast because they're super thin. So it's really you just kind of take the edge and take the edge of the crepe.
So that's a heat resistant spatula.
It is.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're going to, because it's on medium heat. I mean, this is definitely a hot pan.
Yeah.
And it's important that the heat stay even on the pan, that you're not futzing with it. I mean, if you notice that it's burning or it's browning too quickly, then definitely turn it down. It's better to air on too low than on too high because you don't want to burn them. And it might take longer, but you can see now the top is already cooked. There's no more liquid left.
Right.
So now I'm just browning basically.
Okay.
Because you don't want them to be doughy, right?
Yeah.
So I like to see a little color almost there.
Oh, so you're just checking it to see if there's color.
And you're going to flip it.
We're going to flip it.
Which is really different from our mom's 1970s contraption, which we'll get into later.
I know. One of those, and I couldn't find one. I don't think they make those anymore. I don't think they do.
We did them in a regular frying pan growing up.
Did you really?
You can see how easily this lifts.
Yeah, but I had a mother that tortured us, so that's a whole other story.
And you look at that. Voila.
Bravo!
So it helps to get under about halfway. And it's just all flipping the wrist. All right. So this one is going to cook, and this is going to cook faster than the other side because it pretty much was done. But like I said, I like to keep it a little brown. I like it brown and cooked well through, and almost a little crispy on the edges. Because that way, when you bake it, you still have some crispy on the edges. It's good. Okay. So for crepes, you want it before you prepare the pan. I like to keep them in between paper towels. It just keeps them separate from one another. I know this is recycled paper towels, so I didn't kill any. No trees were killed in these crepes.
They make bamboo ones now.
I know, but with COVID, sometimes you just have to take whatever you can get.
Oh, you get whatever. I mean,
Around here, it can still be scarce. So we're going to take
the cool thing about crepes is you can cook them. You could even cook them in advance and prepare this the next day because they can sit, you know, until because you're going to bake them with the sauce and the filling. You know,
right.
They could.
Mm-hmm.
They could. Yes, they could. You go. Okay.
But
So that's done. So we're going to take this. We're going to put it on top of the paper towel. We're going to do it all again.
Cool.
Because I probably, how long has this been going on? This is like my longest show ever. Okay.
What is the brand of that pan? Can you tell us?
Excellent question, which I will tell you in 2 seconds when I'm not having to concentrate.
Oh, somebody said we set a high bar. That's lovely. Thank you. Bar. I hope you didn't miss our last Friday show. Speaking of bar. That was a good
I
cocktail.
love how we go from grilled cheese one night to crepes.
Fancy crepes.
There's a wide berth there. Okay.
Right.
It's a good time to turn on your oven to get it preheated at 350. It is going to take, once the crepes are done, it's going to, you know, we're going to film. So let's let this one cook real quick, and then I'll fill one.
You don't want them too crispy because then you can't roll them, right?
You can't roll them. Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a fine line. I mean, the truth is, this is a carbohydrate that's with the super dairy protein and mushrooms. I mean, it's all going to get mixed together. You're not going to go wrong on flavor. It's just texture. You don't. Right. I prefer it not to be like baby foodish, you know. So with a little bit of texture, it's nice. It's nicer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's.
I worked at a crepe restaurant in college, so I was in the kitchen making crepes, and I made all the fillings.
Wow,
it was crazy.
What was your favorite?
I didn't eat them. I got so sick of them.
Really? Oh my God.
I got so sick of crepes. Are you kidding me? But I do like that mushroom spinach combination. But I used to like it with ham.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, a little prosciutto in here wouldn't kill you. Oh, well, it may actually.
Yeah, we would make all the crepes, you know, ahead of time, and then all of the fillings. But you could sort of mix and match when you came in the restaurant, which was interesting. Such a long time ago in a beach town in North Carolina.
Wow. Child, her effect was wide. Amazing.
Yes,
was all doing that. The other thing, quickly, if you're going to add something like prosciutto or pancetta or ham to this, remember how those are very salty. So you just, if you're going to add that, I would omit adding the salt because it's going to get real salty real fast if you do that. So just notice, like, chicken is not, especially if it's just a roasted chicken.
Right.
Just watch for the salt on a protein that you're going to put in it, and just make sure you're not getting salty because nothing's worse if it's too salty.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's done. See how pretty? They're so pretty.
They're just pretty.
That's pretty. Okay, so we're going to put that away. All right, so let's move this pan here. I'm trying to do this all in one place. I'm going to roll one just so you see and we know.
Yeah, and what kind of pan are you going to put it in? Like a cake pan?
This is the wrong pan.
Look.
This is Corona Kitchen, and so the nice pan I had broke like a week ago. It got dropped. So we're improvising tonight as I was searching for one earlier. Glass is fine, ceramics better, whatever you have. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this with a little bit of the sauce because since there's so much butter in it, we're pretty good. I'm going to put the sauce at the bottom, and then I'm going to line up the crepes in a row. And then I'm going to take some of the sauce and put it on the top. And then we're going to put it in the oven for about 30 minutes at 350.
Okay.
And take it out, and we're going to gain about 5 pounds. It'll be awesome.
Awesome.
It's basically,
and it's one big French hug.
It's French enchiladas, okay? That's what it is.
So the other thing is that I like to serve this with a green salad, a nice crispy romaine with a really good vinaigrette, like a Dijon-based vinaigrette dressing. Just because the sharpness of the vinegar and all the heavy cream is a really nice combo on your plate. So that's how I would do it.
Or you could just have a glass of wine.
Or you could just have a really glass of wine. You know, you could do a Pinot or a nice Chardonnay would be good. So to fill them, I'm just going to do I'm going to fill them like you roll, like the kind of burrito technique. So you can do several ways. I don't know if you guys can see me. Move this over.
There you go. Yeah.
You can either fold the top, 2 tops, and then fold the bottom and have it be like an envelope, like a square, like this.
Oh, huh. Okay.
You know, that way.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of line them up. But since we're going to be baking these, I'm actually going to do these just the old-fashioned way. We're going to roll them.
Yeah.
Just like, you know. So we're going to
give them a little roll.
Yeah, we're going to fill it. Not too much filling because you want them to be nice and thick. But it also just depends on the size of your crepe. So you're going to have to use your best judgment. If it's half a ladle or 2 tablespoons, and give it a roll. So that's basically it.
Okay.
So I'll take a nice.
Fabulous! I can't wait to see the pictures.
Magnifique! Bravo! You did it.
Yes, it's delightful. Salad offsets all the dairy. Yes, it does.
Of course. You're telling yourself that.
That's correct.
A little acid with the cream really does help your palate, cleanse your palate, so you can eat more, right?
Yes.
Awesome, Holly. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We say merci.
Merci. So just in case you need to know, Holly has a website where you can get her salts and vinegars and olive oils, flavored, and all kinds of good stuff over there. So check it out. Yes. Bon appetit. Bon appetit. And we are so grateful that you guys are here tonight and hanging out with us.
Yay.
And if you have any friends that would like to subscribe to us, if you haven't already, please do on YouTube. And all the recipes are up on our Facebook page if you're watching from YouTube. And that's our show, people. Thank you.
Hang in there, everybody.
Everybody wear a mask. Maybe I'll make one for the chicken.
Somebody that you love.
Yes. Everyone stay safe. And cook.